that God made provision for mothers. That God gave mothers a special sensitivity, a special heart that only mother can be. That's why it's so hard to leave mama. Because mama got something that ain't nobody else got. That's why we be 55 and 60 running back to mama house. Good mother always let the children eat first. And then if there's anything left, then they will. If it's something left over, they'll have something. Many times, Brother Al, one prayer today, that many times they didn't have nothing. They let you eat it all, and they went to bed hungry. I ain't got no help right here. But every day, you know, I understand now we got everything at our fingertips, but there's been somebody here who ain't always had everything you wanted. But there's been some hard ways along the way that you had to sacrifice some stuff so your child could make it. It may not have been food, it may have been something else that they didn't got big and they don't even know the sacrifice that you made just so they would have something, so they could look good. They didn't get any, you didn't get no clothes, mama, but they got some new clothes. And you know, they don't understand the sacrifice that was made. I'm sure that there was some sacrifices made by this woman. This woman had no idea her life is going to be changed for the rest of her life. Preach, Bishop, I am. Had no idea that the events next are going to change her life forever. And so the story goes like this. The story begins when he gets there and he said, "Can you give me some water?" And she go get some water. He said, bring me a piece of bread. And that's where the problem comes in. He said, "Mister, you don't understand that I'm making the last cake for me and my son. This is the last meal we're going to have. Then we're going to die." That she thought that this was the last. And the prophet said, "Go and do all that you're supposed to do except make my cake first." She didn't argue because she had to have some church in her somewhere. She had been Sunday school, Bible study somewhere. She didn't argue with the man of God. She didn't argue with the man of God. She didn't argue. She went right on with what the man of God said. As selfish as it seemed, as selfish as it might have looked, but God was trying to get a lesson out of this story. He was trying to let it preach in 2014 about when you're a real mother, how things really go down. And so she's sacrificing, and the prophet said, "No, go on and make what you're going to do, but make mine first." Because God is so committed to you that God is not going to let you run out of bread, water, money, and nothing else. He's going to send somebody your way to speak a word in your life. God is committed to make sure that whatever we need, it shall be provided. But we got to learn how to accept what God has done. She could have had a lot of rebuttal. She could have had a lot of other stuff that she said, but yet she planted in the man of God's life. Wouldn't it be a wonderful day today if you planted in somebody else's life today? If you planted somebody not just because it's a special occasion, not because it's much, but any day that God gives you the opportunity to plant in somebody else's life, you ought to plant in their life. Anybody can plant on the day. Walmart, empty right now. Hallmark, card section, empty right now. But what about planting when it's not a special occasion? Because the reverse of that is there wasn't no special occasion when this woman got blessed and she thought that it was the end, but yet God extended overflow in her life. How many people I know today that say that if I had another chance to bless somebody, I'm going to plant in somebody else's life, so then I know after I do it that if God is committed to them, he'll be committed to me. And so she pronounced death, but God said live. Because she saw out of her limited resources. I think I just said something right there. She saw out of her limited resources and how she said, "I ain't got enough to make it." But don't you know that if you ever trust God just a little bit more, that God's provision is much more larger and wider than your limited resource. While she was gathering a few sticks, God had already made provision and commitment from heaven to give her cakes and cakes and cakes. And rain came. Let me just plan in your life today and say, I know you think it's not what you think it's supposed to be, and I know you think it's real limited right now, but I wish I had 2 or 3 people that could look at their spiritual imagination and say that if you just trust God, God will keep on blessing your life. That if you allow God to just have preeminence in your life, God will change your life forever. And all you got to do is follow what God says. Even when the request is strange, even when the request is surface, that's probably when God is on the peripheral about to bless your life. When you say, I